Somalia, a country that has been declared to be the most dangerous in the world. When my team and I were told that we were being dispatched to report on Kenya's war on the Shabaab inside the largely lawless country, we had mixed feelings. A bit of excitement, but also nervousness. For little did we know about what exactly lay ahead, this being our first time to report on live combat activity.
Kweli kwamba mimi sijawahi jipata katika ulingo wa vita, lakini kupitia yale ambao wenzangu wakina Michael Njenga, wengine Patrick Njendi na pia Eustace Kathorimo walikuwa wamepitia, waliweza kunitayarisha kwamba unapoelekea huenda utaona watu wamekufa, huenda utaona makabiliano, huenda hata wewe mwenyewe utashambuliwa. Kwa hivyo nilianza kujitayarisha kiakili. Hata hivyo niliyoyaona yalikuwa zaidi ya yale ambao walinielezea.
Nimekuwa katika fani ya utangazaji kwa muda. Kwa hivyo japo nilijua nakuja kufanya shughuli za kuripoti katika mandhari ya vita, sikutarajia ya kwamba itakuwa jinsi nilivyoshuhudia. Ikawa siku zote unapoamka ni kushukuru Mola.
Nobody ever prepared us, especially psychologically, what you're going to be facing while we're in Somalia. No one told us about the weather. No one told us about the hard times. No one told us that, hey, you know what, guys, there are days you'll be sleeping in trenches. No one really prepared us the kind of life that we were coming to face here.
It was a journey that took us more than 3 days due to the poor state of the roads in the northern part of Kenya leading up to Somalia, whose condition had since been aggravated by the torrential rains being experienced then.
I expected us to get here in a day, as per calculations. Took us a week.
We had also been provided with tight security, just in case our convoy was confronted by bandits who are notorious for attacking travelers headed to the border with Somalia. But thankfully, we finally got there. And for the next 40 days, this rugged terrain would be our abode. These men and women in full combat gear who looked frightening at first were going to be our brothers and sisters. Wherever they went, we would accompany them.
And when you get here, the water is salty, the heat is unbearable, the insects are everywhere during the day, during the night. The shoot that I was expecting to be comfortable became the most challenging thing in all of them that I've ever done in my life.
Kuanzia kwa mazingira, kama useme usiku unapolala unashambuliwa na wadudu ambao hujui. Na pia maisha, yale maajabu niliona ni yale ya mashambulizi. Jeshi wakikabiliana na wale adui.
But it was not until the 4th day on the battle zone that the harsh reality of what we had gotten ourselves into fully dawned on us. Some TFG soldiers drove over a landmine that had been targeted at the Kenyan forces returning from a patrol. Here, pain and death are a commonplace.
By the time we came here and you experience people stepping on landmines and you see people being cut into half, you experience, you know, the gunshots. The enemy is shooting, the army is shooting. Sometimes it becomes too much for your mind as a civilian to comprehend.
And I'm sure many of you are wondering where exactly we put up for the night, as well as where and what we ate during the treacherous assignment. Hey guys, for the last couple of days, we're talking about 35 days. This has been our home. It has also been doubling up to be a studio. Some guys have been asking what we eat. This has been our food. I mean, it's a jungle out here, so
Got to live like you're in the jungle. It's a hard life, we can tell you. But we thank God we're going back home. I can't wait to be back home.
Here, no one is certain of what the next hour may hold, and prayer is essential at the start of each day. Sometimes we were caught up in the action.
The Kenya Army just trying to get ready to shoot to the other side. What has happened, this is a junction that is very notorious. It is known for the Al-Shabaabs. On my right on this side is where the Al-Shabaab militias use the... That's the route they use.
But we had to move on and make sure that our viewers are constantly informed. A day to remember is the 12th of December. Just as Kenyans celebrated Jamhuri Day back home, in Somalia, the situation was different. The camp where we were in came under attack, and we thought that this day would be our last.
Mwendo wa saa moja hivi, baada ya kutuma ripoti zangu mimi, tukasikia milio kutoka kila pande. Mabomu, ikawa basi ni mashambulizi. Kwa mara ya kwanza ukaona kwamba sasa muda wangu umetimia. Ukarejea kwa Mola wako, lakini baadaye Mungu ana uwezo. Majeshi yetu nao pia walikuwa sambamba nao.
Ukweli ni kwamba nilikuwa nimesimama mbele ya kamera, lakini nilijipata chini ya kitanda. Makabiliano yalikuwa mengi sana hivi kwamba sikuelewa nani ambaye anafiatua na anafiatulia nani. Yalikuwa makabiliano ambao mimi sijawahi ona maishani mwangu, na yaona tu na kusikia kwenye movie. Lakini ukweli ni kwamba nilipoingia kwenye handaki, basi nilikuwa salama.
Nilikuwa kwa operesheni ya kawaida ya mitambo. Ndiposa kwa ghafla nikasikia milio ya risasi. Na ndipo nikasema mguu niponye.
It's at night. You can see red all over, tracers, bullets moving, people running helter-skelter. And at that moment, you start thinking about, it's like your life is unfolded. It becomes like a movie. You start thinking about the things you've gone through from the time you're little to where you are, because you're staring at death.
You know the way they say, a cameraman, you don't forget your camera? You do. Because there's nothing that prepares you for that. I crawl under the beds into a small trench at the edge of our tent.
That was the hardest part. That was the most scary part of this job.
And as long as Kenya's Defence Force continue to execute Operation Linda Inchi, we at Citizen TV will keep you updated as to what is happening on the war front. Michael Njenga for Citizen TV.